you're expected to pay something, you need a contract.
Yeah.
That's why it annoys me, you know, with the energy agencies, they come to you and they expect you to, they already think you owe them, you don't owe them anything. There's no contract drawn up.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Anyway, I put that, and after that it says, I'm going to basically give them 7 days to reply to this, and this is what I wrote here. Assuring and promising me that all of the replies and details given to the above requests are true and without deception, fraud or mischief. Your said failure to provide the aforementioned documentation within 7 days from the above date to validate the bill will constitute your agreement to the following terms. 1, that the bill did not exist in the first place. 2, it was already been paid in full. 3, that any damages I suffer, you will be held culpable. 4, that any negative remarks made to a credit reference agency will be removed. 5, you will no longer pursue this matter. 6, you agree to pay all the schedules. Now, thing is, they work every time, they've worked every time, they've worked with debt collectors because they need a contract to show you.
Yeah.
The letter I got, I sent them that letter anyway to Moorcroft, and they sent me one back trying to dissuade me from it, and basically that's nonsense. You can't do that. So I sent them another letter, which is absolutely awesome, and I'll love to read it out, but it's a bit long to be honest.
We've got time.
Are you sure? I don't know. It's massive. All right. Okay. All right. This is what I sent them. It would appear that you're paying attention to my first letter slightly in a way, because I put you have used my correct name and not my fictional title, because what they did call me is Rick of the Family Smith, which was all right.
Wow.
So I didn't need to charge them $5,000, you know. And then it says B, you have replied within the amount of days specified, although not with a contract. This is what I put. I don't know what these figures are in speech marks are of what you speak about. Because they were talking about figures, I don't know what they... I'll just get on with it. As you are probably as aware as I am, my letter is factual and correct. Otherwise, you wouldn't have respected my wishes. Your last letter to me was an attempt to dissuade me from these truths. This will not happen. Just for your understanding, I wrote my letter to you, I designed it myself, and it was not taken from the internet, because he accused me of taking it from the internet. Now, which is funny, because where do their letters come from? That they send, templates. Yeah. So, you can't use templates when you know, on the side of the tree.
You're not smart enough to write a letter.
Well, I know,
how ridiculous.
It's unreal, isn't it? Yeah. I tell you what.
Nobody's smart enough to write a letter.
No, you can't do that, can you? You just went to a normal school.
Don't work here.
We're all public school boys. We wouldn't talk like that, would they? We're all public school boys. Not that they're all gay. Nothing against gays, either. Anyway, on with that. Sorry about that. Just for your understanding, I wrote my letter to you. Every single corporation I've sent these letters to have said the same thing. It is illogical to say this, because what this letter contains is factual common law and does stand up in court. The fact you do not understand common law is your problem, not mine. I have used my letters numerous times and given them to other people. They have worked every time. People should be able to get the letters from the internet anyway. Who are you to say they shouldn't? Would you prefer to see the truth trodden on because it contravenes your business? I have no doubt it is people like you that has put the world in this state. You see, these letters detail common law and expose your fraudulent activities, because they are fraud. They're trying to get money off you with no contract, you know. And expose your fraudulent activities. You are nothing but con artists praying...
What annoys me about mobile phones is it's airwaves. You're talking about the air.
I know,
you know.
Innit?
So they're saying that they own the air.
Well, this is it. Well, look at the energy companies, right? There's a couple of guys on YouTube called they call themselves getoutofdebtfree.org, I think it is, getoutofdebtfree.org. They've done a few videos, and they phoned up the energy companies. It turns out that, like, I mean, they're in the Midlands, but all the pipes and stuff like that, I think it was the National Grid, they said it owns the pipes and things like that, or whatever it was, the gas part of National Grid, and they couldn't, to start with, identify the provider of the gas, whether it be BP or Shell or whoever. They couldn't identify where it came from anyway. The pipes, it travels through the pipes for nothing. The only reason why you get charged at the end of it is because that meter you've got installed by those insidious fascists is their property. Now, you can actually, by law, what you can do is you can have the meter removed, obviously by a professional, and put your own in. You can get them off eBay for about 50 quid. And how much are you going to charge yourself then? I'll be good to myself, I won't charge anything, to be honest. Anyway, let's get on with this bit. What did they get up to? Yeah, people should be able to get letters, Xperia. You are nothing but can artist, said that bit. I said, well, people are waking up to your bull poo now. I nearly censored the wrong word. Thankfully. They are becoming aware of the nature of this illusionary reality and your lies. People should and must share this information widely to defeat the likes of you subhumans preying on the ignorance of the vulnerable. I am not stupid. I have defeated every corporation that has tried to engage in business with me, and you are no different. It is your choice to engage in business with me, which I do not consent to. Just goes on about the charges. I'm going to charge him there. My name is not Mr. Richard Smith. This name is legal fiction. It only belongs to a piece of paper called a birth certificate and is not me. So as a natural person, Rick, of the family Smith, I don't owe anybody anything. You tried to make me believe that your attempted taking of said monies would not be classed as harassment, because they actually had the nerve to say it wouldn't be harassment. So I said, from this, you clearly have no idea about privacy at all, which doesn't surprise me. I expect your company is riddled with immoral procedure. I have news for you. I consider any communication with you, including your last letter, as harassment. So from my perspective, it is harassment. Obviously, it won't be perceived as such from your perspective. This is simple common sense a child could manage to understand. The next correct action from you would be to return the account to the client. Unless you want to be sued for damages under common law through my family solicitor, the choice is yours. But be assured, I have removed your implied rights of access from the property. You will be seen as harassing and trespassing. Any agent's action will be perceived as aggression, and the members of my house will react with reasonable force to evict said agents from the property. This includes a driveway, just so there's no confusion. I've detailed the fact that they've not got the signed contract back to me in the time given. Good. So it's void. I've said this will stand in court. If you don't believe me, try me.
They won't do that.
No. Yeah, exactly. And then I put, again, so things are nice and crystal clear, being a smart arse. Because I know you struggle intellectually as well as morally, any agent coming to my property will do so at their own risk. A Form 4, which is something you can get from the county courts or something, apparently, will be, like I say, I'm not an expert on this, but I'm trying my best, will be filled out for each individual agent. This is a form you can fill out if you've got any complaints, if they're acted on unlawfully at all, any bailiffs or debt collectors, and that, what constitutes unlawful action is arriving at someone's house where there's vulnerable persons there, and that might be an old person with dementia. My grandma's got dementia, so, I mean, I'm at her house, but and I'm vulnerable because I'm unemployed, because I'm looking after her. So that would be unlawful. So you could sue them, A, for breaching your implied rights of access, and I put 500 quid if you ring the bell. Ignorance is not an option. What else have I put here now? And then you could do a Form 4, which will scare them off anyway. And I put here, furthermore, any interaction from you to me is against my consent. I have no interest in communicating with you, therefore you should be aware that it could be seen as rape.
Wow!
You do anything against the consent of a human being, is that not rape? Question mark. If you have another definition, I would be interested in hearing it. Next page. So I put, so in all seriousness, I say to you rapists, fraudsters, liars and conmen, you will not ever get a penny off me. Your words can be used to trick normally, but in this case it won't work, trust me. I've explained, I've sent my lawful rebellion notice to the Queen, basically saying I've become aware to me and many other people that Britain has become under the control of diverse evil people with their own agendas, like the military-industrial complex, corporations, and it is a corporation. What we've got to understand is
the thing is, she's top of the tree.
Well, yeah, she's head lizard, isn't she?
Yeah.
Head child murderer slash Satanist slash whatever you want to. She's just an evil, insidious. See, I don't care anymore. What I've done, I've sent the DVLA a notice that I want to deregister my car. Because under common law, you're allowed to travel the highways of the UK. Well, not the UK, that's a company. Sorry, the highways of Britain unhindered by common law. So there's no law that says that you need a driving licence. It's an act. It's an act, and that's not a law. It's as simple as that. And so I've said that. I'm driving around now. What I did is I sent my number plates back. I sent tax disc back. I've rescinded my driving licence, and I wrote to the chief executive officer of the Devil Air, which is DVLA, called Oliver Morley. he's called. So I've written directly to him for his attention, and I've given him a certain amount of days. I think it was 7 days to reply, to rebut what I've said, basically. And but they won't be able to, because there is no law that says you've got to do this and that. So I've got another letter off him recently, which I'm driving around with now in the car, so I can show the coppers if I get pulled over. And it basically just says, thank you for your recent letter to Oliver Morley, the Chief Executive of the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Agency. Your letter is receiving attention, and you will receive a full reply when we've completed our investigation. So it's actually signed as well with wet ink, which makes a change, because if it's not, it's fraudulent. So yeah, so I can show the coppers that, and I can show them what I sent.
Because I've heard this wet ink thing, and I wonder what's wet ink?
Yeah, it needs to be signed. Now, the hilarious thing is, many corporations are send. I mean, this has been detailed by the likes of John Harris. It's an illusion. He had lectures in 2009 onwards. The same people, you know, who are supposed to be signing them from the same corporation that have gone all over the UK. The signatures look totally different, you know. So they are. I mean, most banks now, I think all banks are working fraudulently in Britain. I think it's all gone to poo. I'm sure it has.
Well, it certainly has.
But this is the case, because... And I've beaten parking PCNs, you know, what do you call it, penalty notice thingamajigs, parking. In fact, I did that for a friend, my nan's carer. Her mum got a parking ticket in the Isle of Man. And this is good, this bit. Oh, there's another good bit I can't forget to tell you. On this, let's stick with this. I sent the Isle of Man government that letter that I sent, but it had a bit more in it, saying, also give you 7 days to show me where there is a law that says I have to pay this, because it's not a law, it's an act, and I don't consent to that, because it's nonsense. I never signed an agreement to, you know, to that. Anyway, they said, thank you for your letter dated whenever. You that's nonsense. Anyway, the second sentence is the most important. Due to a legal anomaly with the issue of the above ticket, the ticket has been marked as no further action. Hang on.
Due to a legal anomaly with these issues, your ticket is marked no further action.
You know, so scumbags, nil, me, 1. And there's another
just
bit,
because you wrote a letter to him, there's no further action.
Yeah, no, a legal anomaly. Yeah, that would be that there's no law for this. That's the legal anomaly. It's hilarious, isn't it?
That courtroom scene was mental.
Yeah, no, that's good, that, because
all the magistrates got up and walked out, and the clerks doesn't know, was running around like a headless chicken.
Yeah, exactly. That was Raymond St. Clair. You can see him on YouTube, free man in the court against the council tax. Now, he was in there because, like me, when I go back home, I'm not going to pay the council tax, because there's no law that says we've got to pay it. In fact, there are laws against paying tax, believe it or not. I can't quote them now because they're not written down, because I'm an idiot, but there are laws that say if your taxes are going to murder people abroad, you know, in illegal wars and all that sort of stuff, then you don't have to pay it. So there's no law saying you've got to pay that. Now, there is a letter I've got on my computer that you can send people, you know, the council regarding council tax. I mean, with these credit debts and all that sort of stuff, you shouldn't go to court for that anyway, because this is law of the land matter, this. You see, civil proceedings inside the court is maritime law, it's law of the sea.
Yeah.
So, if you actually got a warrant, if somebody came to your house and got a warrant to come into for council tax or whatever it is, you know, that would be all civil. Maritime law has no power in outside in the law of the land that I know of. I mean, if I'm wrong, then, you know, somebody let me know, because I've only just started doing this. But he wouldn't sign that. The magistrate wouldn't sign a warrant because it's fraudulent. He wouldn't want to be liable for that. So if somebody comes to your door and says, I've got a warrant here to come in and take whatever stuff away because you've not paid this, then that's fraud. There's no power. They've got no power to do that.
No, they do.
And if the police are coming in for the council tax, they're supposedly there for a breach of peace, and they should be working under their oath. Their oath is common law. But these people, you can beat these people. We can beat these people now, and this is a way of making a stand, non-compliance. You know, like Gandhi did. So,
how would you go about it from the off? Who's the first person that you write to?
Right. Well, I didn't. First thing I did was sort out people who were claiming money off me. For example, one of them was the ground rent. There's people that own the land, you know,